What if the happiest songs you've ever danced to were born from sleepless nights, quiet heartbreak, and a secret fear that success could vanish at any moment? Benny Andersson, ABBA's hidden mastermind, just cracked open that mystery, and once you hear what really powered Dancing Queen, you may never hear its glittering piano run the same way again. Benny's story starts in a tiny post-war Stockholm flat, where winter light vanished by mid-afternoon and music filled the gap. His father wired apartments by day and squeezed an old accordion by night. His grandfather added folk songs that felt half lullaby, half prayer. At 6, Benny took their battered spare accordion, pressed down a chord, and felt the living room widen. He memorized melodies the way other kids memorized playground rules, by instinct. By 10, he could replay a hymn after one radio spin, translate Bach inventions by ear, and still couldn't read a note. He liked it that way. Notation felt like bars on a cage. Sound wanted to fly. But that first burst of talent came with a chilling thought. What if the world was louder than the music? Benny hid from talent shows, skipped school dances, and spent evenings dissecting chords in solitude. His spell broke at 18 when Sweden's hottest beat group, the Hepstars, begged him to join. They promised packed halls, screaming teens, and one thing Benny secretly craved: studio time. He said yes, but the roar of fans made him uneasy, even as the single Sunny Girl shot up the charts. While bandmates soaked up applause, Benny fiddled with keyboard voicings during sound check, chasing that flicker of magic only he could hear. The tension between spotlight and study would follow him for decades. Then came a smoky party in 1966. Benny heard a clean acoustic strum in the corner, looked over, and saw Bjorn Ulvaeus, another shy chord chaser stuck in a folk rock outfit. They jammed on an Everly Brothers tune, their harmonies braided instantly, and both felt the click. Same humor, same hunger for craft over ego. After that night, they wrote songs wherever they could: a tour bus bunk, a corner cafe, even a car ferry deck. Each new tune felt like proof that detail could still thrill in a world rushing toward cheap hooks. Benny had found his twin engine, but that wasn't the whole story. Two singers soon electrified the partnership. Agneta Fältskog, a Swedish chart star with a crystal top range, and Anni-Frid Lyngsted, a smoky alto who could bend jazz into pop, joined the circle. Their first single wore the clunky title Bjorn and Benny, Agneta and Frida. But Eurovision 1974 trimmed that to a punchy acronym, ABBA, and crowned Waterloo. Overnight, the quartet leapt from Swedish TV slots to world stages. Sequins flashed, harmonies soared, and fans decided even their personal lives looked perfect. 2 couples, 4 cheekbones, endless smiles. Yet inside that glitter, Benny retreated. He built a laboratory inside Stockholm's Polar Studios. Grand piano, marimba, and the then exotic Moog synth stacked into walls of sound. Tape machines ran at odd speeds. Agneta's vocal floated a hair above Frida's for shimmer. He and engineer Michael Tretto sometimes spent an hour on a single hi-hat. Benny insisted every sound carry clear feeling, what he called emotional honesty. The result? Songs that felt like sunshine, yet twitched with Scandinavian sadness. Listen again to Knowing Me, Knowing You. Under the sing-along chorus, Benny's chords reveal an ice crack waiting to spread. But success is greedy. Tours stretched to 90 shows, interviews multiplied, and the record label begged for faster releases. Benny's workdays slid past dawn. Sleep felt like treason. He feared that if he eased off, inspiration would escape. By 1979, ABBA had sold 100 million records. Instead of joy, Benny felt a throb of panic. Could the next hit still land? That anxious heartbeat began pulsing through the music. Personal walls cracked first for Bjorn and Agneta. They split in 1979, shocking fans who believed I Do was real life. Benny buried himself deeper in studio hours, but the same storm circled him. In 1981, he confessed to Frida he'd fallen for television producer Mona Norklet. Their breakup was polite on the outside, brutal inside. Recording sessions for the Visitors turned icy. Tempos slowed, lyrics bit harder. Benny left longer silences between chords as if sound itself could lie. ABBA's last act came without curtain. December 1982, Under Attack flickered on radio, then nothing. No farewell tour, no press conference, just quiet. Fans wrote theories, betrayal, curses, secret addictions. The reality was less flashy. All four were drained. Benny later called those final months routine shifts at a job we once loved. For 40 years, that silence hummed louder than any chorus. Frida married German Prince Rutzo Roos in 1992, swapped stage lights for castle chandeliers, and then lost her daughter in a 1998 car crash, pain that pushed her into near seclusion by Lake Geneva. Bjorn wrote the musical Chess, then warned about artificial intelligence songwriting as he tinkered with it in his studio. Agneta released an introspective 2023 solo album and dodged tabloids hungry for anxiety rumors. Benny composed film scores, led a folk orchestra, and slipped into late-night polar sessions to chase chords no one else would hear. Yet the myth refused to rest. Reddit threads dissected cryptic lyric clues. Swedish talk radio mused about tax exile scandals. ABBA had once moved to England briefly to dodge Sweden's 85% tax rate, a decision Benny later called financial self-defense. Conspiracy channels claimed occult symbols in the Super Trooper cover. Others swore royalties vanished into offshore vaults. The band answered none of it, and silence breeds louder questions. Everything shifted November 2024. Benny, now silver-haired and resolute, sat with The Guardian and dropped the simplest bomb. We were exhausted. Marriages fell apart. The music felt unnatural. 4 months later, he told Billboard the final 2 years were uninspired workdays. Streams of The Visitors spiked 40%. Younger listeners finally heard the ache woven into Slipping Through My Fingers. Longtime fans exhaled. Sadness they'd felt but couldn't name was finally confirmed.
But that confession opened a newer mystery. Could burnout scars ever allow a genuine reunion? The answer arrived wearing motion capture suits. In 2018, the four quietly reassembled inside a Swedish soundstage. Dots covered their faces, sensors wrapped their joints, and a small army of technicians captured every shrug, grin, and mic stand sway. Those data clouds became avatars for ABBA Voyage, the most expensive digital concert ever attempted. The arena, purpose-built in London's Olympic Park, hosts 3,000 visitors under a canopy of 291 speakers and 50-foot LED walls. When the avatars step on stage, some viewers swear they see sweat catch the spotlight. Benny, perfectionist to the last, vetoed a preset flute sample because it sounded too plastic, making engineers record a real one at 3 a.m. Tickets sold faster than a Swedish winter sunset, 1.3 million in 2 years. Venture capitalists dangled a $1 billion live tour offer if the quartet would perform in flesh. They declined in unison. Benny's reason? I like breathing normally. Yet some critics howled. Purists claimed the avatars cheapened live musicianship. Ethicists asked if dead artists could be resurrected forever as ghost performers. Benny countered that the show ran on 100% renewable energy and aging bodies avoided brutal tours. Still, Talk of expanding to Las Vegas or Sydney sparked climate debates. Shipping the massive arena, skeptics said, would burn more fuel than all ABBA flights combined. Benny suggested modular local builds, but left the final call hanging. Tech obsession stoked brand new rumors. Industry insiders claim Benny met executives from Pophouse, the Swedish firm behind Voyage, about selling his publishing catalog, a deal that could rival Springsteen's $550 million payday. Some say he stormed out, calling songs "my children, not cattle." Others whisper negotiations are ongoing, with a twist. Benny wants ironclad clauses banning cheap casino ads and political campaign usage. No deal announced yet, but Swedish financial papers post weekly "Will he sell?" polls. Meanwhile, Bjorn's AI experiments stirred a fresh storm. After warning lawmakers about AI's black box threat, he revealed he was co-writing a stage show with machine learning software. Twitter accused him of hypocrisy. Benny's take? Tools don't write feelings, humans do. Yet internal emails leaked from a Stockholm tech startup suggest Benny tested an AI chord generator to spark new folk melodies. The emails mention Project Aurora, but Benny's spokesperson laughed. He still prefers late-night piano. Conspiracy fuel only burns brighter. Tabloids pounce on every cough. Last June, Benny canceled a folk orchestra gig, citing a summer virus. Online rumors escalated to brain disease. A grainy photo of him in a hospital parking lot lit up comment threads. His office issued a 2-sentence rebuttal. Benny's fine, stop guessing. Even friends admit the speculation rattles him. He told Swedish radio, "People treat aging like scandal." Still, he knows mortality hovers. He rewrote his will last year, ensuring his share of ABBA royalties goes partly to music education programs in rural Lapland, an echo of the accordion lessons that saved his childhood. The pressure cooker keeps hissing. Voyage's London lease expires January 2026. Bloomberg reports that investors want at least 2 new arenas abroad. Environmental groups threaten protests if the project mounts in drought-hit Nevada. Benny meets them halfway, offering carbon offset plans and solar roofs. Critics remain wary. The clash between nostalgia and sustainability now sits at the heart of ABBA's second life. But Benny's gaze is elsewhere. He's chasing a half-finished melody he calls the morning burb. Engineers say it flutters between major and minor like dawn's first light. Will it see daylight? Nobody knows. Strip away the celebrity chatter and one bright thread emerges. Benny's stubborn mission to protect a song's soul, even from his own perfectionism. That mission built ABBA's sparkle, yet honesty, arriving decades late, made their story human. Now Dancing Queen sounds joyous but fragile. The winner takes it all belts triumph through wet eyes, and The Visitors reads like a diary accidentally published as pop. You feel the price in every note: lost sleep, fractured love, and finally, priceless silence. So next time an ABBA hook floats from a cafe speaker, pause. Hear the undercurrent only Benny could design. The minor chord hiding under a major smile, the tension between glitter and gloom. Picture a skinny kid tugging an accordion bellows, a supergroup waving off $1 billion, and a hologram sweating under LED suns. Decide for yourself which note lingers longer, the triumphant chorus or the confession beneath it. Because Benny's tale isn't neat verse, chorus, verse. It stacks bright majors over aching minors, leaves space in the fade-out for you to breathe your own meaning. Where does that silence lead next? Maybe a midnight piano fragment will flower into one last ABBA anthem. Maybe Voyage will pop up in Tokyo, carbon-neutral and jaw-dropping. Maybe Benny will surprise everyone by selling his catalog only to fund music schools, then vanish from headlines for good. Whatever happens, it will start with a single chord, played softly in a quiet room, just like the first one he squeezed from that battered accordion. Listen closely. You might catch the sound of Benny finding magic again, long before the rest of the world realizes a new chapter has begun.